Hey folks, welcome back to Nutrition Made Simple, a video series that we created that takes a look at ideas surrounding natural health topics, and then we break them down into easy to understand and actionable steps. My name is Brian Strickland, and I'm joined today again by Cady Coleman. She's the co-owner of Nutrition World. And for the month of July, we've been focused on food topics. And today we wanted to single out sweeteners and sugar substitutes in particular and give you just a little bit of information on the good, the bad, the ugly, what you might want to consider incorporating into your daily routine, and some of the things that you might want to stay away from. So with that being said, we're going to break it down into kind of two separate categories, and we'll start with sugar substitutes or synthetic sweeteners, and then we'll look at some of the natural options that we have and a few of our favorites from the store. So, Cady, with that being said, what are some of the sugar substitutes and synthetics that people may be aware of or might want to stay away from? And then first, let's touch on sucralose, because that's one that's kind of in between for some people.
Yeah, definitely. So sucralose, there's not enough scientific evidence to show that it is unhealthy for us. It actually is showing that it is okay. It is a chemically based kind of derivative, so it's not going to have something quite as natural as stevia or monk fruit that we'll get to. But sucralose is not affecting blood sugar levels, which is a big property when looking for a sugar replacement. I mean, we really want to focus on not increasing that blood sugar and the sugar content in our system. So sucralose is going to keep those levels the same. Now, two that we really, really want to work towards avoiding, aspartame and saccharin. I mean, I would just never ingest aspartame, to be honest. There's way too much scientific evidence to show bad effects from aspartame.
All right. So yeah, sucralose is one of those, it may be a good fit for you, it may not be. I have a hard time with it. It kind of makes my stomach upset sometimes, but other people may not have that reaction at all and be perfectly fine with it. But like you said, the important thing is that it's not going to spike our blood sugar. But that can also be done with natural alternatives as well. And right in front of us, we have some coconut palm sugar, some liquid stevia, honey, which is obviously going to have some caloric value, monk fruit, and then a jam here that we threw in just for fun that is sweetened with stevia, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. So let's just work our way down the line. These are all options that we have in the store. And let's start off with the coconut palm sugar.
Definitely. So the reason I like coconut palm sugar is it can be measured 1 for 1, just the way that cane sugar can. So if a recipe calls for 1 cup of cane sugar, you could easily substitute this for the coconut palm sugar. And the reason that I like coconut palm sugar the most is because of its lower glycemic effect. So our glycemic index is how much is something going to affect our blood sugar. And I follow a holistic physician who I really trust what he's saying. And he said, balance your blood sugar like it's your second job. And so if we're wanting to have the best metabolic function, we're wanting to have steady energy levels, so not have that mid-afternoon dip, that is all a key critical process of balancing your blood sugar. So that's why we're coming to you with this message today, is essentially blood sugar.
Yeah.
If we are looking over here at the next one, it's stevia. This is our house brand, Maize Medicinals. Stevia is a plant that grows in the ground. I actually have some growing at my house now. It's a green little leafy plant. You can pull it off, put it in my herbal tea, crush it up. But this is going to be the liquid extract. So they already have that into liquid form. This is a great way to sweeten your teas, your coffees. You could use it in recipes, but you're going to use much, much less than you would of real sugar. It's concentrated. So for most people, it's actually just a few drops.
Yeah, I use it to sweeten like iced tea, and literally it takes like 3 or 4 drops and you're good to go usually.
Exactly. Make a lemonade with it so you're not using sugar. Honestly, in my health coaching, that is one of the first places I can start. If people are addicted to sugary drinks, so sweet teas, lemonades, apple juice, Cokes, really sugary coffees. I mean, some of those Starbucks gigantic coffees have over 50 to 60 grams of sugar, which is a massive no-no. Start by substituting with stevia and give it a try.
Next up is a pretty unique honey. This is actually from Bees and Trees, which is out of New Zealand. It's a brand that we carry. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, definitely. So this is raw, so it hasn't been heated or any kind of processing done to it. It's going to have a lot of its antioxidant properties still within it. And again, honey still has sugar, still has the calories. So you want to treat this as if it's sugar. You want to lower your consumption of it, but it's wonderful to put in a little bit of herbal tea. And it's wonderful to kind of coat your throat if you had a cough or kind of allergies or sickness going on.
Next up is monk fruit, and it's in a liquid form as well. It's somewhat comparable to stevia, but can you tell us how it may differ a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a different plant. So it's the monk fruit plant, similar to how stevia is the plant that's growing. This is monk fruit. But in taste profiles, people are actually showing that they prefer monk fruit over stevia. So a lot of people are switching over now in their baked goods or their recipes, or even some products that we're getting ready-made at our store now are using monk fruit. That's how I feel. When I see like a protein drink has monk fruit, I'm automatically a little more drawn to it than I am stevia. Has less of an aftertaste.
And last but not least, we have this cherry jam, which is sweetened with stevia. Tell us a little bit about this.
So jams are delicious, but jams are really full of sugar. So oftentimes, if you actually turn that label around, the first ingredient is sugar.
Yeah.
So the fruits or the berries aren't even the first ingredient. And that's just not my favorite way to ingest anything, because then we're essentially just kind of tricking our minds and thinking we're getting fruit, but we're not.
Yeah.
So this first ingredient is going to be cherry, because it's a cherry jam. We have 3 different flavors, an orange and I think another berry, maybe a blackberry. But the second ingredient is actually stevia. So it's going to be sweet still. It's going to be satisfying, but it's going to have the fruit first and then the sweetener that's going to have no glycemic effect.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. All right, guys, there you go. Hopefully this was helpful and gives you a little bit of information. We always prefer natural alternatives, and we have some great options, even if you want caloric or non-caloric sweetener options. So be sure to visit us, check out what we have, or you can shop online at shop.nutritionw.com. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. We appreciate you watching. As always, like and subscribe for more content just like this, and we'll see you next week on Nutrition Made Simple. Take care.